Howdy fellow model railroaders, my name is Kevin Brown. I want to thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. This episode is going to be mainly focused on the progress I've been making on my operating scheme. In addition though, I want to go over layout update. Been getting some work done on the yard, which I'm really looking forward to getting that running. In addition, I had a run session with my buddy Bill from the N scale of Bloomington Normal. We'll have a little footage of that. And actually at the end there's some good news for the N scale of Bloomington Normal. So I'm trying to get all that in. It's going to be a busy episode, but I think we can get everything in. First and foremost, as you can see, I have this fine tailor. This is, for lack of a better term, Vinny wear. These are the shirt and hat from Vinny Sestito, BNSF 6951 on YouTube. They're really nice. I'm very glad I got them. If you guys haven't checked out Vinny's channel yet, you're missing out. So look for BNSF 6951 and you'll find all sorts of interesting things. It's a blast. He has an amazing layout, and he does a live stream on Friday night where everybody hangs out. It's really quite fun. So I recommend you check him out. Now, because this is kind of my trademark, I'll have to go back to this hat. Next, I'd like to go thank all the new subscribers. There's been a steady stream of new subscribers coming to my channel. Thank you and welcome. I hope you enjoy what you're seeing. Just as a quick rundown, I'm expanding my layout that's based on T-Track modules to fill about a 12-foot square space. And that's been keeping me quite busy for quite a while. Among the new subscribers is a guy I've been subscribing to personally for many, many years. His YouTube channel is Texhorse, and his layout is the Montrose and Highland. He also has a small switching layout called Cascade. Andy he lives in the United Kingdom, and he models American Prototype, and I've stumbled on him many, many years ago, and I've always enjoyed the use he gets out of his layout. He really does get a lot of fun out of his layout, and I learned all sorts of stuff watching his channel. And actually, it was through him that I met Vinny and got involved with this huge community. So needless to say, I recommend Texhorse as a channel. I suggest you check him out. So yeah, that's kind of that. Next, I want to spend a little time going over the improvements in the yard. So we'll catch you in a bit. Progress on what's going to become Blair Yard on my layout, a classification yard. I've managed to finally collect, I think, most of the switches I need. I know I need one more here, but slowly but surely it's been coming together. I have yet to hook most of this in, and none of it's been wired. So my next project is to hook this track into the main line over there and start from here and slowly wiring my way down and make sure everything works okay. I've been using the Cotter number 4s, and they're a little finicky. So I'm going to not tack a bunch of stuff down for a while and make sure everything's working right the way I want it before I start putting some nails in it and put it where it belongs permanently. So that's kind of the future. I've got a lot of work to do on this, but as far as layout work, construction, this is going to keep me busy for quite a while. So next, I'd like to go over what I've been doing on updating my operating scheme. I started off with a series of experiments, just running, operating in kind of a random order, and found that certain things worked very well, better than I expected, and other things that I thought would work didn't work out so awful well. The first thing that worked out very well was the whole idea of keeping trains running on both main lines. I have this style of throttle. And by golly, I love this thing. It has, you can control 2 trains simultaneously. I've got 2 main lines. It seemed like a match made in heaven. So instead of just a simple sequential order of trains, one followed by another, it became a little more complicated in that one train would do what it needed to do. And every train, well, will have a job it has to do each time it comes out. And after it's done with that, it just runs on the main line for a while until it's time to come off. And that means that there's always kind of interference going on with the local or any other trains coming through. That part really worked pretty well, although it took a little while to figure out and get the bugs worked out of it. The other things that didn't work out so awful well. Originally, I was planning, this is supposed to be eventually a bridge, and I was thinking about making it a single track bridge, which would mean there would be a choke point. And that would mean that you'd have to be very careful how you do your trains, and it would bring a lot of operating potential. And I think it probably would work in a when you have multiple people working and one person watching each train. When I was by myself and running it, it was everything I had to concentrate on that, so it didn't end up being an Addams Family meet and everything crashing over here. The way I simulated all this, by the way, I just parked some cars on the one main line, and so all of a sudden you had to go around it. And that got me thinking, I may just go ahead and put a double track bridge in, and I can pull this trick anytime I want. If some people want to come over and try a little more stressful, that's not the right word, but I will go with stressful, operating environment. So I learned that. The other thing I learned is that I need to cross over here somewhere, because when you have to do, the local comes in and it has to turn around, the next crossing is clear over there. So that didn't work out so awful well. So a simple crossing here is necessary, and that'll solve some of the problems. The other issue I ran into pretty quickly is how to organize all this stuff. And I tried various things, and it occurred to me that, frankly, why reinvent the wheel? A good friend of mine, Alan Satkamp, has a wonderful layout. His Twin Cities in Western, although I think he's changed it around, it's not that anymore. But most model railroaders have something they really like to do, something they really excel at. Alan excels at a lot, but I think what he enjoys doing most is organizing and running operating sessions. I've been fortunate enough to operate on a lot of different layouts, and I think he pulls it off the best of anybody I've ever seen. So rather than reinvent the wheel, I looked at his scheme, and I'm trying to copy it as much as possible. If you're interested, I went to his layout in episode number 15, visit to the Twin Cities and Western, and also on episode 17 I had a chance to operate on it. So if you want to look back in my catalog, just show why I think he does a great job. He's an amazing modeler, a really nice guy, a perfect gentleman, and he also, like I say, very organized. So what I'll do next is I'll show you the changes I've made. It'll be mostly back on the staging yard, and show how I've tried to incorporate some of the ideas from Alan Satkamp. Here are the changes to my staging yard after imitating what Alan Satkamp has pulled off. And you'll notice quite a lot of changes, actually. The big things, of course, are the use of what are called bulldog clips, and to hold the train orders, etc., for each individual train, and also how they're labeled for each of the different staging tracks. The other thing, of course, is the clipboard, which has the operating sequence of the trains, how they're supposed to come out of the yard, in what order, and how this is all supposed to work. I'm going to take, we'll spend a little time looking at the sequence a bit, and the use of the pocket protectors to hold all the information for the trains. Really, the heart of Alan's organizational scheme is to put all the things, the cards necessary for train, into this plastic pouch, which the engineer can take with. As you can see, it's big enough to easily contain the locomotive card, quite a few car cards, and in addition, which I'm putting on the back, it has an instructions for what needs to be done on each train. By definition, it should fit in a pocket, which I don't have right now, but also it works in, see, these stylish cloth tool belts carpenters can wear, and so you can bring it with very easily. It's got everything you need, rather than having a bunch of cards in your hand. The other key is the train sequence, and I'll show you right here. And basically, I'll try and show. I put the red for those that are on the branch line, because certain switches have to be thrown for those to work properly. But I alternate between counterclockwise and clockwise trains, and this shows the order everything's supposed to go in, and tells the dispatcher, whoever's running the staging yard, what needs to be done when. So this is where I'm at right now. I'm hoping that this should lead to all sorts of fun operating. So I'll keep you guys informed. My goal eventually is to have an operating session here with, I think I could have 4 people here pretty easily, which is one of the reasons why I left the central space here so wide open. As I foresee it, would be someone over there running the yard, 2 different people running the main lines, one counterclockwise, one clockwise, and a dispatcher on the other side running the staging yard. So that's a long ways in the future, but this is how I'm going to start to get there, and I'm going to build on this and add more things for trains to do. Right now, only one of the trains actually delivers cars to the yard area, and for the local, I'm going to expand on that greatly. So yeah, that's kind of the progress so far. One other thing I did work on was replacing some more modern cars in my operating scheme that kind of stood out. So I'm going to show you that next. I started working on the Brownsville Terminal Railroad. It was my intention to set it somewhere between the late 50s and early 70s. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough freight cars in that time period to fill everything out, and that's kind of bothered me. The last holdouts are the ones for the P&N Junction. Here are the much more modern cars that I'm used to using, I want to be using, and you can see the storage where I grabbed them from. All my trains for T-Track are organized as complete train sets and have their own boxes, so it was easy to grab these and put them on the layout, but it always bothered me. So I decided to buy freight cars of more appropriate era, and here they are. I've still got one on its way, but as you can see, I really like the era of the 40-foot box car, a few 50-foot pieces of equipment, roof walks, and all that sort of stuff. And so here's the replacements, and I've got the cards all written out for them. I use the Micromark sets. You look in their catalog. By golly, I've bought one of their beginner. I guess it's the beginner sets, and I've still got quite a lot left of that, so I can't recommend that enough. So anyway, I managed to get this part done to improve at least the looks of my operations. I'm really happy about that. So that's kind of the progress I have been making on operations. I'm having a ball with this. I didn't do a very good job of showing the tool belt and how easy it makes it to have hands-free with car card system. And something else I shamelessly stole from Alan that works like a charm, and these things cost nothing. That's it for layout progress. Now on to the N scale of Bloomington Normal. We're still not doing shows, and we've been doing Zoom meetings for our meetings, and that's kept things going, and I'm very pleased with that. It's been decided, we thought about it for quite a while, and we're going to have a little private meet. They plan a private meet. There's a building we can rent at the Lake Bloomington, a beautiful area, and we should have enough space to set up our trains, and it will not be open to the public. It will be very limited people through. It'll be with masks and trying to do a social distancing as much as possible. The building has big windows that can be opened, so it should be as much air moving as possible. It's a risk, but I think we're willing to take it just to get a chance to get together and play. That's coming up in October, so I'll definitely get some footage of that when that comes up. Another thing with the N scale of Bloomington Normal, kind of a good bad news thing. I'm going to get a chance to go over and see Dave Gentry's Cache Valley and Northern layout. It's a beautiful N scale layout. I had a chance to go over there some time back, and he's done some improvements on it. So I get a chance to shoot a video on that coming up, and that's the good news. And the bad news is it's because Dave's going to be moving here before too much longer, and the Cache Valley and Northern is going to have to he's going to start disassembling it before too much longer. So it'll be kind of a last look at a very nice layout by a good friend. So that's coming up. So that's things to look forward to. I want to leave you with some footage. A friend of mine, Bill, came over and wanted to run as big a coal train as he possibly could. I think by the end it was like 80 some cars. And it ran like a charm on my layout. I was very happy. Obviously, he's a big fan of the Chicago Central, which was the old IC Iowa branch when it was split off for a while. And so here's some footage to leave you on, and hope you enjoy it. As always, if you like what you saw, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you very much for watching.
It's all right. Yeah, I'm moving around. It's not even some more to go. It'll fall.
Yeah.
It's not even. Yeah, I got a loose wheel here. Yeah, quick right.
Now, all these custom painted, all the cars and
Yeah.
everything?
Oh, no, those are factory painted.
Okay.
Though.
But the cabooses
Well,
and the engines are, right?
The engines and the caboose are all custom painted. The engines are painted by, I think it's gentleman name now, since told me so long I said it. What was his name? God dang. I want to say Dave Gentry, but Dave ain't dead, okay? I know.
Mm-hmm.
Caboose are by Dave Gentry. What was his name? Jim? No. John Benning. John Benning was the gentleman's name. He's no longer with us, but that's why. I had the one wheel thing on here. Oh, there it is. There it goes, back and forth. Now we gotta go back once they open the other plant, see how that works out with them. I'm not seeing the same photos too.
I enjoyed the heck out of that. I'd like to do that again.
Yeah, me too. We still gotta get to Peoria though. I wanna check out the CPU.
Yeah,
Get the picture of them and the Iowa Interstate.
I would very much like to catch
They
some
come in about 10 in the morning off of the main line, the branch, Peoria Blair. They cross the bridge. Go right up into the PPU and now, well, the big guys out.
Yeah.
Stop the train, pick up a train they made up for them, put together for them, they go right back out just so they get there, so they can get green light to the branch, and once on the branch, they're all blood out of it. I guess they switched from companies on the way back up south. Rio would.
Mm-hmm. That makes
I think
sense.
I think they're based on either Rock Island or
CR, I think.
what is that? What's
Cedar Rapids, I think.
No, Cedar Rapids. Maybe it is Cedar Rapids. That could be. It might be right. Slowly out. Oh, you hear that power dropping now. I got it out 38.